I believe a few episodes ago I talked about metrics and stuff in terms of like what YouTube likes to see, but I just want to reemphasize that there are certain metrics that I, as a YouTuber, like to see. Creators kind of differ in what they actually care about seeing on their videos, but I personally do like seeing likes. I personally do like seeing comments. I do like to see high viewer retention and watch time to know that people are actually enjoying the videos. And case in point for all of these things as to why I like seeing them, particularly comments, on the last video for Frieren, episode 5, somebody commented with their take on why Frieren wasn't really pressed on resolving the issue with the monster that was like presenting phantoms and luring villagers away into the woods. And while I wasn't 100% sure that I agreed with their take, I do like when people present their opinions, not least of which because sometimes when they do, it makes other things click. And when this person kind of presented their opinion on how they viewed the scene where Fern confronts Frieren over how they should be addressing this problem, it made me realize something. It made me realize that that scene, if nothing else, showed us that Fern has grown as a character, as a person, and that not only has she grown individually, but that she has grown in the way that she perceives her relationship with Frieren. Because we saw back in episode 2 that Fern was Fern was hesitant to confront Frieren about the possibility that they were going to spend years and years and years searching for this blue moonweed flower and it might not even exist, right? She didn't immediately go to Frieren with her concern about this. She went to the old medicine woman and talked to her. And there are kind of a couple of different reasons why specifically she might have done that. But what it ultimately boils down to is that in some capacity she was unsure of herself and or unsure of her her position relative to Frieren in their dynamic, that she didn't feel like she could immediately go to her. She felt like she needed either reassurance from the old woman or that she needed potentially the old woman to do it for her to make the confrontation happen for her. Like again, regardless of the specific reason why she might have done that, the kind of baseline, the reason why is because she didn't feel confident in forcing the issue herself. But in the last episode, what we saw is that she's gotten to a point where she is confident and comfortable doing that. She is capable of doing that. She does have enough self-confidence to make her opinion known, to make it clear what she wants to do in a situation like this, and also to very clearly relay that to Frieren. Even if Frieren has said that like she's not interested in doing this, Fern's going to say, "Well, I am, so we're going to." And yeah, that's a lot of, I think that's a lot of growth for the character. So yeah, that's just to say that like the likes, comments, watching the video all the way to the end for like these metrics are good for YouTube, but I also just like seeing them, and the comments in particular I like seeing because I like to talk about the things that I'm watching, and when people tell me their ideas, again, even if it's not necessary, even if they tell me things that I don't necessarily agree with, it can kind of deepen the conversation, right? So it's just that's I like it. So please, by all means, continue commenting. With that being said, I am pretty sure that I also forgot to do a countdown for last episode, so I want to pointedly make sure that I remember to do so this time. So, episode 6 of Frieren Beyond Journey's End, starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And it looks like we are picking up right where we left off. Okay. Oh, okay. Very, very brief bit of footage before we get into the OP. Oh, and actually, real quick, I guess while we're in the OP, something else that I noticed, actually not while rewatching the episode, but while watching my own reaction during editing for the last video, as I was watching, I seemed to be largely enjoying episode 5, but then once we got to the end and I was giving like my post episode thoughts and stuff, I was like watching myself and I was like, huh, I seem kind of down on the episode. I don't seem to have like a super positive opinion of the episode. But after having watched the reaction, or like, watching my own reaction, I was like, but I feel like I was enjoying it. And I think the reason that was is that the episode felt like it ended kind of weak. The last like minute, 2, maybe 3 minutes, like it didn't really feel like too much happened at the very end of the episode. And also, where that episode like was kind of our introduction to this new character of Stark, it felt kind of unsatisfying towards that end just because like it didn't really do too much to actually establish his character, right? We only spent half of the episode actually focusing on him, and even then we didn't actually spend too much time with him. But hopefully that gets kind of resolved in this episode, episode 6, the hero of the village, because this is obviously going to be more focused on him. So yeah, that was just, I kind of wanted to point out that little disconnect that I noticed in my own reaction real quick, because I just thought that was a little odd. He's tall. I mean, he tried to fight it once and froze up. So, oh, oh, okay. Can we get some more context, please? Because that just frankly seemed like some abuse from Ison. What the hell? What is that? Oh, yeah, that tracks. Boom. Hmm. I feel like there's a lot of story we're just kind of not talking about here with uh, his his time training with. Uh, Not gonna lie, I'm more interested in that than what we're doing here now. Can we get to some flashbacks like in a hurry? Also their faces. We're gonna play tag with the dragon. No! She's grabbing a tree. No! I don't wanna. No. No, don't die. I think it was a pretty predictable response from Frieren, but I think it's odd that he considered that a strange question. I think it's particularly odd that he considered it a strange question just because of his previous. Now that is a monster. Holy. It's a lovely design. It's nice that the monster's giving them this opportunity to have a conversation. um, what was I saying? Oh, given his stated view on warriors last episode, I think, yeah, I don't know. I hope that the pause didn't make that connection I just made seem awkward, but snarl on that dragon. Don't like its face. Dragon is animated weird. I don't know. Is that just me? Yeah, you telling me that this dragon is afraid of this kid? Oh, then why did he hit him? Okay, so he did tell Frieren about this. We just didn't get to see it. Oh, did he feel threatened instinctually? Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Now that's an interesting twist. I like this music. Oh, now that animation I'm on. Okay. I might have said I thought the dragon looked a little funky, but that scene where he was just holding on, that's some animation I fuck with. Super small detail. I like the sound design on him clasping his weapon. His face also. When he just looked up and requested that she attack, like he was afraid. But I think it's. I was gonna say I think you got it, buddy. I think you're good. Oh, okay. Huh. Okay, so this went somewhat predictably, I would say. I'm pretty sure I commented last episode on how the way Frieren was talking and acting, I felt like she believed he had the strength and capacity to beat the dragon on his own. Holy treasure. um so that went a little predictably, but the way that it played out specifically was pretty cool, I will say. Is he going to be the one to ask to accompany them? That would be wild. Fluffy shaved ice? So slowly. I like Kimmel. Don't touch it. We're going to eat that. Rip. Unflavored shaved ice. Ah, bread. Oh. Don't! Oh my god! Why? So unnecessary! Oh my word. I think that's arguably more interesting than anything that happened with the dragon. Like he instantly felt invigorated enough that to go on the journey and like to yeah, I don't know. His willingness to instantly like join them. I don't think I was expecting that. What is with this dude? His voice was so weird. Is that how Tarngard should be? They're both just staring at her, like, what are we doing? Oh, I don't think she likes him. All right, good, good though. This is what I wanted, right? Ah, I don't think she's gonna want to wait 2 years. Tasty. Oh, they trained together for a while. Yeah, I'd say so. That seemed like it was like several years ago. Oh, and yeah, this dude does remember him. I was kind of wondering that. Stop complaining about the portion size. It is a dessert. That was unnecessarily smooth. That bit of animation there with her pulling up a seat. Eh, yeah, you're close. It, he's normal. He's human. Did I do something to offend you? Produce. Another montage. Pog. Oh, okay. I don't know if I'd call that a montage. That was exceptionally short. Feel like you need at least 3 different scenes. I think that was only 2. Well, I guess if you count them walking through the marketplace. Ooh, black market. You have my attention. People think I look pretty strong, and I'm a decent bluffer. My guy, did you already forget about the dragon you killed? You are decently strong. uh, this kid's kind of a riot, no? So much wind up here on top of the walls, blowing their hair to and fro. Just more of those attention to detail. What? What did you expect from him? Oh no, don't do this to me. Is this kid dying? No, no. What does he mean he doesn't have a lot of time? Fond memories. Oh, hard to say. She's just a bit older than him. So hard to say. And bring back stories to. Okay. Okay. It's not that he doesn't have much time. It's that he doesn't have much. I see, I see. I see, I see. Good kid! And then casually shrugging off the more morose topic. What what is she what was that? Why was she just like holding up the I agree with Fern. What are you doing? I'm gonna ignore the here part. I'm just what are you doing? Did she steal a frickin' grimoire? What is what do you mean you're being pursued? And the I don't know. Ah, hi. Wait, what? Ah, she really doesn't like using her name, status, and reputation. We will happily send a battalion to accompany you. Oh, there's still remnants of the Demon King's forces? I know they mentioned a conflict, but I assumed it was just like, people against people. Goodbye, book. That dude is big. Liar. Yeah, for him, it's a new experience, right? For them, it is something new and exciting. And there's Himmel again. I'm gonna start counting a Himmel. I'm gonna start counting Himmels per episode. How often we flash back to the hero's adventure from from decades ago, the 10-year adventure. And it was ultimately pointless. I really liked that episode. I think that despite the fact that in some ways it went like exactly as I expected it to, I really liked that episode. I think that so I generally don't really like when things are super predictable in media. I don't really read, unfortunately. But like, so when I'm watching things, I don't really generally like when things are super predictable. But at the same time, it's kind of like how some people say they hate tropes, but I don't actually mind things like tropes or things that are predictable necessarily if they are done well. And I feel like I think I said something to this effect along these lines earlier, but even though like specifically the first half of the episode with the dragon fight and getting again just kind of doing more of our establishing for who the kind of person that Stark is, um, even though it was more or less what I was expecting, it was well executed. And so even though it was not unexpected, even though it was sort of predictable for me, um, I still enjoyed it. I still enjoyed how it was done. Uh, and yeah, I don't really know if there's too much to say. The fight with the dragon was just, I mean, again, it was well done. It kind of it followed up on things that I'm fairly certain I mentioned in the last episode where like Stark was strong, like Frieren saw that Stark was strong, and I mentioned how like I even mentioned like I don't think I did during the episode. I'm pretty sure it was in the post episode discussion, but like how Frieren said that like she needed him to distract the dragon for 30 seconds. I'm pretty sure I like speculated like is that so that she can charge up some specific spell? Is it so that the dragon gets worn down, or does she just think that like he can take care of it? And sure enough, he took care of it. um, I like how he kind of didn't realize his own strength to an extent because he was so caught up in like his anxiety and fear of the situation that again and again they animated it in his face like after he had dealt the killing blow he looked up at Frieren and he was like, you could see it animated in his face that he was like afraid and like and he was like, do your attack, do whatever you're gonna do, like kill this thing, like I don't want to still be here. And she was just like, bro, you're good, stop, you're done. So yeah, just that whole first half was just really well done, and I'm just gonna stop belaboring the point, I think. And then as for the second half of the episode, that was again kind of what I've wanted to see. Again, I talked about it last episode. Even before Stark came into the picture, I was talking about how I wanted to see some other character that would hopefully be a member of the party, because I wanted to see how it was going to change the group dynamic. I wanted to see how the characters that we'd come to learn a bit about with Frieren and Fern, how they interacted with a different kind of character, and like how and like how those sorts of conversations were going to work, and how those sorts of relationships were going to play out. And we are already seeing that. Like, Fern is very awkward around this, as she called it, normal person. Because she's just so used to dealing with Frieren. She's become so accustomed to her lifestyle with Frieren that having, and again, the reason that I use air quotes and it is because like I don't necessarily think that like Stark is more normal. I think that he's human, and I think that being human just kind of naturally gives him a sort of perspective on certain things that is going to be much more aligned with Fern. And so like the way that neither of them wanted to spend 2 years, you know, fucking around doing nothing in this city, while Frieren took her time, as she described it, with learning the magic that that was available from the different magic shops in the city. So yeah, seeing these two, the initial interactions between these two was kind of exactly what I wanted. I won't say that this is necessarily predictable in the same way that the dragon encounter was. You know, I'm not going to act like I foresaw exactly how these initial interactions were going to go, but just kind of like the feel of them is what I was expecting and is what I was hoping to see, I guess, if that makes sense. So yeah, just a good episode, I think. Just a good episode, in a sense, sort of an establishing episode. Somebody in the comments, since I might as well bring this up, since I mentioned another person's comment at the beginning of the episode video, at the beginning of this video, might as well end this video with also talking about someone's comment. Somebody has mentioned that there are like certain episodes that can be paired together when watching. I'm not going to follow that in the same way that I didn't watch the first 4 episodes grouped together. But I imagine that these were 2 of the episodes that could have been grouped together, because like they are very much both again together Stark's introduction. And I felt that last episode on its own did a very poor job as an introduction episode, because you kind of also need this episode. So yeah, just a good episode. I guess from here though, I'm a little less certain as to where we go. I don't expect there's going to be anything like super grand introduced in the next episode or 2. I don't think we're going to get any kind of like necessarily major conflict. I think that what's probably going to happen for the next little bit, again, at least the next episode or 2, is that we're probably going to see sort of back to the kind of slow, steady lifestyle that we saw with Fern and Frieren previously, just now with the inclusion of Stark. And I am very okay with that. And I think that there is a lot of room to do a lot of very interesting character things there. So yeah, I'm interested to see that. Remember to like, comment, all that good stuff. Remember to check out other videos on the channel if you are so inclined to do so. And that's going to be all for now. Until I see you in the next one, take care. Bye-bye.